Okay, so here is one out of the two unboxings that I have sort of talked about making. Yeah, I had so much stuff for my DVD and Blu-ray update, which should be up by now. So I thought that I would separate a few. I thought that I would remove a few things and separate the videos as much as I could. So here is a packet from Eureka. I bought 5 titles on their Black Friday sale, which how long ago was that? A couple of weeks ago? I don't know. Anyway, so I finally arrived it. I finally received it, and so I'm gonna open that up. Yeah, I don't know how many titles are Masters of Cinema. Maybe all of them are. Maybe a few. I don't know actually, but we have a few Masters of Cinema titles here, and later I'm gonna show you these 4 titles, also from Eureka. So those were the ones that I removed from the main update, I guess. Decided to include in this one. So yeah, all of these were £5 each, so a really good deal. And Eureka, they ship for free. I don't know how they're able to do that, but yeah, they don't charge for shipping. Well, Savi they don't charge for shipping either, but I don't know, they're a bigger company or a bigger website. I don't know. But still, I mean, it's only great for buyers like me when the shipping is free. So yeah, they're not that expensive, £5 each, and that's it. So let's take them out here one by one. So here we have 40 Guns by Samuel Fuller. Yeah, number 116. One of the main reasons, or maybe the main reason why I bought this actually is because Barbara Stanwyck is in this, and I do like her, what I've seen of her. This is from 1957, so I don't think I've seen anything with her from, well, I think the latest thing I've seen with her is probably at least 10 years before this, so cool to see her in a slightly, you know, new, or slightly, well, when she was a little bit older, I guess. But yeah, 40 Guns, I don't know, I haven't seen a movie by Samuel Fuller, and I don't know exactly if I like this movie, but £5, yeah, sounds like a good deal. Did you see the one on top? I'm saving that for last because anyway, I'll get to that. If ... number 84, a movie by Lindsay Anderson and with Malcolm McDowell. Yeah, I don't know much about this, but I know it's a bit of a classic, 1969. So yeah, possibly, I think it might be part of that sort of transitional time period or whatever in the UK. Maybe a few years after that, I don't know, but yeah, so cool. If I don't have much to say really, but yeah. Then we have yeah, once again, Masters of Cinema title, White Dog. Oh, look at that, Samuel Fuller. I didn't know that actually. I didn't realize that this movie was by him as well. So I'll be an expert in Samuel Fuller once I've seen these. Well, no, hardly, but anyway, number 81. Once again, I don't really know what this is about, but I've heard good things, and for £5, it was a good deal. And anyway, by the way, I should mention, this is the only thing that I bought for Black Friday, so I didn't splurge this time. There was not really much that I wanted. There wasn't much that I saw that I felt like I should grab. So this was it. These 5 titles, and then Serpico, once again, part of the MOC line or series, movie by Sidney Lumet. Let's see. I don't know, I mean, this is interesting. These have the same designs on the bottom, same font, yeah, pretty much same font. This says directed by, this says a film by, but they're very close, 79-84. What's the difference? Is it just a matter of not being, what's the word? Oh well. Is it anyway? Is there some difference? Is it because did she write it too? No, she didn't. Okay, I don't know. Maybe it's not a big deal, but and the last one, which the reason why I'm showing this last is simply because I bought this. I placed an order for these four, and then I realized that it said Dr. Mabuse steelbook. There was a list of titles, and one of them was Dr. Mabuse steelbook, and I clicked on it before I made the first order, but the steelbook didn't appear. There was another edition that appeared, so I thought that there must be some mistake, or they're out of stock. So I didn't think too much about it. I just went with these four, but then I realized that you had to change. There was this little box where you had to change from the standard edition or whatever to the steelbook, and then the price changed as well. So I just put in a second order for this, but they decided to include it in the same, so I have no problems with that. But yeah, this is obviously a Fritz Lang film, and the steelbook, I might as well open it now. You might have seen it before, but I haven't, and I mean, well, no, I have, but I haven't seen it in person, is what I'm saying. So I just want to kind of have a look at it right away. And while I do that, I could mention that I do have this movie, but you know, I have a DVD, which if I get it sold, I think I can get a lot more for that DVD over here in Sweden than what I paid for this steelbook. So thumbs up. But thing is, I started watching this movie, I don't know, but maybe a couple years ago, maybe not that long, and I didn't really like it, and I couldn't get into it. I was very confused by it, and I couldn't find the right, I don't know, frame of mind. That's not the right word. Whatever. I couldn't get in the mood for it, and I just I turned it off. But hopefully I will. Well, I don't really plan on watching it immediately, but hopefully whenever I do decide to watch it, I will like it more. Very nice release. Nice booklet here. I love that the aesthetic of that image, and pretty cool steelbook, I guess. Just blue back, but it looks nice, I suppose. But yeah, I do hate these J cards, by the way. There's no way not to crease them, you know, after having taken them off just once. So I don't like them, but anyway. Okay, so those are the 5 titles from the sale. And then before that, I bought 4 titles from another sale that they had. I don't know what kind of sale it was. It was just, I guess, a random sale. I don't know if it was for anything. It was just a clearance thing. So I picked up. Okay, I can't put them there. You'll see them. Okay, this is very inconvenient for me. Okay, Youth of the Beast, Seijun Suzuki. Number 96. This one I'm not really that interested in seeing, to be honest. At least not now. But it is a movie that I believe people like quite a bit. 1963, and that's pretty early. I think it's a Yakuza film. It has to be. It looks like it. At least a crime film. I will get to this eventually, but right now I don't think I'm gonna watch it. Not yet, anyway. But then we have the only one in this up. No, actually, we have one more. Actually, yeah. I was gonna say the only one in this update that is not a Masters of Cinema title, but this one and the next one is not. Anyway, Adventures of Mark Twain. Yeah, I've not seen this yet, but it looked good, and I do like stop motion, and this is claymation. Yeah. This is, you know, honestly, Mark Twain, I didn't even know who that was, but he's a writer. I looked it up, and this is about, I guess, him, or is that supposed to be Mark Twain himself? I think, yeah, along with, I mean, yeah, okay. So Mark Twain, and he's a writer, and he in this stop motion film, he brings his most famous characters with him on some kind of an adventure. And having no idea about his characters, I mean, well, Huckleberry Finn, I guess I know. Tom Sawyer I recognize, but I don't know who that is. But knowing very little about them and about his work and stuff like that, I don't know if I will enjoy this or appreciate this as much as I would have, or as someone would have who know his work. I'm sure you would you'd get a lot more out of it if you actually know the books and the characters, but I don't. And so because of that reason, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it, but I don't know if I'll miss things. But yeah, so that we have that. I haven't seen it yet. Two that I have seen is The Town That Dreaded Sundown, which was pretty good actually. It was a very kind of peculiar movie. It blends different kinds of genres and stuff together in a movie that I have, in a way that I've not quite seen before. It's sort of a slasher, but not really. It's not really done in that. I mean, first of all, it's from 1976, and there had been more of a straightforward slasher, although I don't know if it's usually seen as a slasher, but it's basically a slasher. Black Christmas, that had been done in 1974, I think, but this was still a little bit before that slasher wave, you know. So I don't know. I wouldn't say, but it does have similarities with the slasher genre, because we do have a masked killer who we never find out who it is. It's based on real events, by the way. And yeah, he goes around killing people. And one of the differences are that the killing scenes, they're very extensive, or they're very prolonged, and so it doesn't feel, it's not that quick kill, in and out kill or whatever of the slasher genre. So that's one thing that doesn't really, I mean him going around killing off one by one, it obviously sounds like a slasher, but stylistically the way it's done, it's a little bit different. And also and then they, like I said, they blend a bunch of other things with that. Like there's some comedy, some kind of slapsticky humor, and goofy comedy, and not a lot, but a little bit. And crime. I mean, it's a cop investigation thing, and maybe that doesnn't sound like that outrageously different, but if you watch it, it has a certain atmosphere. Very good cinematography as well. I enjoyed it. It wasn't overwhelming in any way, but it was enjoyable and entertaining, and sort of unlike most things I'd seen before, even though it is similar to a couple genres, but just the fact that it mixes them makes it stand out, I guess. So anyway, this next one, I guess, is probably seen as a bit of a classic, but I couldn't really appreciate it. I thought that it was a bit pretentious. I have to say, Funeral Parade of Roses. They didn't have a Blu-ray of this, so I got the DVD. But it's very experimental. The plot stood out to me. It sounded interesting to me. It's about the see what it says. Groundbreaking and unapologetic portrayal of Japanese gay subculture, and that sounded very very interesting. So I wanted to see it just because of that. But it's a very experimental film, and very kind of chaotic, and I don't know. It has a very high rating on a couple websites, and I can't fully see it, I have to be honest. I mean, with a lot of movies that I don't really love myself, I can still see why they would be considered classics. With this one, I'm having a bit more trouble seeing that. I think they should have made it more. They should have taken some of that experimentation away, and it should have been. I mean, should have. I would have enjoyed it more if it would have been a more straightforward story about this guy living the life that he does. But I'm sort of taken out of the movie every time they decide to throw something completely surreal at you. You don't even know what's going on. You don't know if because they do blend non-fiction within the film, which it's done nicely in some occasions, but you don't know if some things are supposed to be taking place in the story or outside of it, which I think was intentional, but still. I'm a little bit confused when I watch this, and not in a good way, and I just don't really know what's going on. Not sure what I'm supposed to make out of it. But it was a good movie. The ending was definitely pretty effective, but it could have been hurrying here because it's gonna cut me off now soon. But it could have been more effective if it was more straightforward and played down a little bit, for me anyway. But it was pretty good anyway. But yeah, okay. Now the time is. I don't know about your camera, how your camera works, but mine cuts me off after about a little bit after 15 minutes. So I'm gonna have to stop now. And yeah. Yeah, tell me what you think of these titles. Maybe it's 16 minutes. I don't know. The time should have turned red by now. Maybe it's 16. I thought it was 15. Anyway, I'm not gonna sit here and look at the time any longer now. So I'm gonna let you go and tell me what you think of these titles, if you've seen any of them. Yeah, nice addition to the Masters of Cinema section of my collection. So okay. Take care, and I'll see you soon.